Pudge Rodriguez joining us for a couple of seconds tonight in Game 3 of this series against the Chicago Cubs. So far, so good. First two ball games, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. We're playing great. The pitchers are doing a great job, and and key hits. So far we're playing great games. Starting pitchers give us the innings that we need. Deep in the game, and then what can you say about the bullpen? All those guys are doing tremendous.
When you talk about key hits and guys being ready, key hit you had the other day, you're down in the cage, wasn't expecting to play that second game.
Well, you have to be ready all the time. I was the last guy there, and I just
last man standing.
I just keep it myself, loose, went inside and get some, 5 to 10 swings and ready back out to hit the ball. So, but in that situation, I just concentrate to get a good pitch to hit, and basically, he threw me some couple of tough ones, and I fouled off, and he threw me a good one that I can handle it.
Pudge, we talk about toughness on a baseball team and focus. This ball club, one of the toughest clubs I've ever seen, and maybe going back to when you first came in. Anything like this that you can see compared to this ball club where you've won so many close games, so many one-run games, and you're never out of a game?
Yeah, it is. All my teammates are ready. I think they're ready from an hour or two before the game. I see those guys day in and day out preparing themselves in the gym, getting loose, and come to the cage, 15, 20 minutes before the game and get loose and hit and feel comfortable. So, those guys got an idea. Everybody got an idea, to go out there and play 27 hard outs. I think that's the key, play the game all the way into the last out, because I always say, everything can happen, in the game. So you got to play hard into the end of the game.
You're a perfect example that preparation always pays off.
Yeah, absolutely. I just keep myself in good shape. I work, pretty much every day from Monday to Friday, and I've been doing that all my career. So, that's what I'm still here. After 20 years, 21 years, I still do the things, pretty good, and I'm feeling great.
So your routine has not changed over all the years?
No, absolutely not.
Because we talked about how these are the first thing to go.
Well, keeping your legs strong and basically your core strong, that's what you need, to play this game for such a long time. And that's what I did day in and day out, and I'm just going to keep doing it.
I don't know where to start with this pitching staff, to start with the starters or start with the bullpen. These guys have been unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to start with the starters. Those guys give us 6-7 innings every single day, and the bullpen. They're all doing great. I think Steve doing a great job with them. Working, prepare them, before the game with the running, with the throwing, keep those on fresh every day. And and the starting pitcher, Levan and all, Marquis, those guys are doing tremendous. And when you have a pitching style like that, they go deep in the game. That's always nice.
Also, they got to listen to you. I mean, they do relate to you on the same page with you. A guy who's been there and done almost everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ramos and myself, we are doing a great job with them. Communicating with them before the game. We sit it down. We're going with the hitters, what we're going to use, what we're going to work that day, and so far he's doing very good.
I'm looking at when your playing days are finally over, 20 years from now maybe, you got to be a coach, you got to be a manager somewhere, because you just got too much baseball knowledge.
Well, absolutely. I think that's what I love. I love this game, and I still have the love and the passion to play this game. That's what I always say. There's still a lot left on me to play this game. But of course, when you retire, you always got to be, in baseball. Don't know what, but in baseball, I'm just going to do something. You get the feeling the best is yet to come from this ball club this year, the way they're playing? I think the second half is going to be very special for us. I feel it. I think all the guys are start to, play together. I think, Desmond is swinging better. I 100% Jason is going to be fine. But those guys are playing hard. So that's what I said. The second half for all is going to be something special. I know one proud moment for you is when your son got drafted. How's he doing? He's doing good. He's playing already. He had like 4 or 5 games. He's calling me every day. And, of course, he's telling me that, he's different. Oh, yeah. But I just told him, to stay strong, stay positive, and things are going to change. Coach, thanks for your time, buddy. Always appreciate it. Okay, thank you.